Alright, check it. What's going on, kings and queens? I hope you all are having a blessed, beautiful, and amazing day. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 key things that will happen to you once you decide to walk this narrow path and truly become set apart. Not the lukewarm, like not that lukewarm stuff. Because I'm not here to tickle ears and tell people what they want to hear. Like, nah, it's we got to keep it real. We got to keep it 100. Because when you start tickling ears and telling people what they want to hear, it causes sin. It forces, it thinks that it deceives people because it makes them think that what they're doing is right. It says it, as the scripture talks about in Proverbs. It says, "There's a way that seems right unto a man, but it's actually wickedness." And when you just tickle ears, you make people think, you deceive people and make them think that they're actually on a narrow path when they're really not. So these 5 things will happen. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Number one is, let me zoom in, is you will start to lose friends and family. Yes, because where God is taking you, they can't go. And keep this in mind. When because we were all deceived, we were all in the world, we were all part of Satan's kingdom, right? And when you're a part of Satan's kingdom, Satan is not messing with you. Satan's not gonna mess with you and try to get at you and X, Y, and Z because you're a part of his kingdom. And that's something that it's only when you decide to give your life to God and to come from among the world and be set apart, that's when Satan is going to attack you. And this is why you will start losing friends as well, because not only is Satan attack you, but God is protecting you, because God knows what these people are saying behind your back. God knows what path these people are on. These people aren't choosing God, they're choosing the world, because the Bible says a friend of the world is an enemy of God. So why would God allow friends of the world that's an enemy of him to be around his chosen one, his son or his daughter? You know what I'm saying? So that's why what will happen is God will allow all the, like, for one or two things, like it's a couple of things that can happen, but either God will literally reveal to you their true colors. Because let's put this for example. Have you guys ever had a scenario, right, where let's say you're talking to a so-called friend or family member, and let's say you had some type of accomplishment or whatever the case may be, and they just said something so out of pocket about you that just they hated on you in a way, or they try to play you down, and then what they do afterwards is probably laugh it off and just go like continue talking like nothing just happened. That is God showing you that person's true colors, what they truly think about you behind closed doors. They may be laughing up you in front of your face, because the Bible says a good tree can't bear bad fruit and a bad tree can't bear good fruit. They may be laughing up in your face, but deep down they really have hatred towards you. And that's one way that God will allow that to happen. And if you don't take heed to the sign, God will allow that person to hurt you until you actually, get rid of them. And another way as well is God would just people would just stop talking to you. Like literally, people would just stop hitting you up. People would no longer want to talk to you anymore. I remember this, like when I first gave my life to God, because I was that person that was always like, I was cool with everybody. I never had beef or gossip. I wasn't doing all the arguing and X, Y, Z back and forth, and I didn't care about none of that. I was cool with everybody, teachers, students. I didn't care what grade you in. I was cool with everybody, different schools and all that type of stuff. And I'll never forget, once I decided to, and keep in mind, like the people that I was surrounding myself with, they were doing worldly things. They were going out, they were partying, they were smoking all the time, drinking, playing video games all the time, gossiping. Like those were, I was surrounding myself around all those people that God don't want us to surround us ourselves around. And what would happen is when I gave up that and stopped being around those people, I just gave it up. I'm like, yo, I'm done with that. Even though I wasn't partaking in all the stuff that they were, I was around that. And I decided to stop doing it. All of a sudden, nobody hit me up. I was like, you know what, God, I'm going all in with you. I'm done. Like I stopped, I cut off social media, no social media. I stopped watching TV. I stopped playing video games. I stopped hitting up people first. And I kid you not, nobody was hitting me up. It was just me and God. And that's a good thing. You guys got to rejoice when God does remove these people from your life. Because what does that do? That gives you nothing but time. That takes away all the distractions. So now you have no choice but to go to God. And when this first started happening to me, I was confused. And this is why this video is so important. I was so confused and so lost. I'm like, why are all of these people, like, why does nobody want to talk to me no more? Why am I losing all these people? Like, this was my best friend. It was cool since middle school or elementary school, whatever the case may be. Now all of a sudden they're feeling some type of way about me, or they're throwing hate, throwing shade at X, Y, and Z, like out the blue. This family that I thought, I was cool with me forever, all of a sudden their real colors start showing. And what God revealed to me is that showed me that I couldn't talk to anybody else. One second. I have trading view up right here, and price is about to hit my take profit, and I don't want this alert to go off while I'm making this video. So let me actually Just delete the alert and just watch it, right? But God, when I felt lonely and stuff, I knew I couldn't go to nobody. I knew there was nobody that I could go and talk to. So God was the only person that I could go and could talk to about everything. Literally, like that was like my best friend. Still is. Like having conversations back and forth about every single thing that I was dealing with. He was the only one that could understand that. So that is key. So that's number one. You will start to lose friends and family. Number two is you will be hated and called weird by the world. Yes, the world loves its own. So when you decide to stop partaking in the worldly things, let's say you no longer want to follow the pagan holidays, the custom, the traditions of man, like it talks about in 2 Colossians chapter 8, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit after tradition of man, after the rudiments of the world and not of Christ. One thing that I've learned is like when you decide to stop celebrating all the pagan holidays, and one thing as well, you'll be hated by the so-called religious people. Those are the ones that are going to hate you the most. And this is all a deception. Because remember, the Pharisees were so-called righteous men and they were hating on Jesus. But when you get hated on by these people, what can happen? And this is a gem. Because these people are so-called professing themselves to be Christians and righteous and women or men of God, when they start looking at you and slandering you, you may think that, wait a minute, maybe I'm being over righteous, or maybe I'm following the wrong thing. Maybe because these are Christians, they're telling me X, Y, and Z, so maybe I am doing the wrong thing. Maybe I should listen to what they say. Maybe I should believe that, once saved, always saved. Maybe I should believe that just because, Jesus came and died, I no longer have to follow the Old Testament, and I no longer have to follow the law, and the law is done away when I can just live in sin and just say that I love God, I love Jesus, I profess Jesus as King, and I'm saved. Maybe I could just do that, and guess what that could cause you to do? To fall back into the worldly things, and that's goes in with number 4 about how Satan would tempt you. But yes, you no longer want to celebrate the Christmas and Halloween, and because Jeremiah talks about Christmas. But you no longer want to celebrate Halloween, Easter, all these events and stuff like that. And people call you crazy. Like you want to honor the Sabbath, and people call you crazy for that. But when you want to celebrate, and it's crazy. When you celebrate the holy days, people call you crazy. And when you don't celebrate the worldly things, people call you crazy. So it's like people gonna hate you regardless, bro. Because when you don't want to celebrate Christmas and stuff, people call you crazy. But when you celebrate like days like the Day of Atonement, because that's like I believe the Day of Atonement is the dry fast. When you say like I'm not eating or drinking anything, what? Like, oh, you need to drink something, you're gonna pass out at X, Y, and Z. When you want to celebrate the Passover, when you want to celebrate these holy days, when you gotta like fast and do certain things, people don't want to. They cast stones at you. When you want to honor the Sabbath, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, people want to cast stones and hate on you for it. So that's something to keep in mind. The world will hate, and that's just with like those holidays. But there's so many other ways. People will hate you for, because you decide that you just want to eat like God's food that he created, and you don't want to eat McDonald's and X, Y, and Z. You get called weird and crazy. They call you a conspiracy theorist and all these things like that because you know the truth, and God has opened up your eyes to see it. And to them, it's like, oh, this man is crazy or X, Y, and Z. Those same people that are calling you crazy are going to wish they listened to you, years down the line. So always keep that in mind, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is you no longer will desire worldly things. Like you won't care about the pleasures of the world. You won't care about trying to have the most followers or the most views or the most likes or the newest car or the newest this or the jewelry. You don't care about trying to keep up with all the trends. You don't care about, let's say you don't care about keeping up with all these people's stats so you can be a part of the conversation or hear about the football games, and like you don't care that about that stuff no more. You no longer will desire attention from man or women. But you no longer would desire like trying to get all the women and trying to show off, or let's say for example you're a man, you're a woman, you're trying to get all the attention from men. You no longer like you don't care about that type of stuff. That stuff doesn't please you no more. What people have no longer impresses you. Because back then, let's say for example, if I seen like a football star or a rapper or something like that back then, it's like, yo, man, let's say it's Lil Baby or X, Y, Z, or I don't know, Drake. Let's say Drake, for example, right? It's Drake. Oh, X1Z. I'm excited. X1Z. Like, yo, I gotta go meet this person. Gotta get your autograph. Like that type of stuff. That. But it's like when you become like you know who's Drake belongs to. I don't care how much money you make. I don't want you around me. That stuff doesn't please you no more. How much money they make or what kind of car they drive, or how they dress or whatever the case may be. That doesn't sway you. That doesn't make you want to be friends with this person. You look deeper within and look at their spirit. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Like you would no longer desire the things of the world. So that is number three. Number four, this is very, very key. Satan is going to tempt you into going back into your ways. In 2 Corinthians 11:14, it talks about this. It says, Satan comes dressed as an angel of light. Satan is not coming like with this. He's trying to force fear into you and to get you go back into your old ways. Yes, he can do that, but more times than not, he's gonna make it seem sweet. He's gonna make it sweet like honey. He's gonna put it on the silver platter you for to go back to your old ways. Let's say, for example, you used to deal with smoking weed, right? And you decide to give that up. All of a sudden, those friends that you used to smoke with all the time hit you up, and now they're offering to smoke you out. You used to always smoke them out. Now they're offering to smoke you out for free. Now people are offering you free weed. People are offering you, like, let's say for example you deal with gluttony and you decide to give that up. All of a sudden now you're getting 16,000 emails about, like, discount, buy one get one off. All of a sudden everybody wants to go out to eat with you. You're driving down the road or X1Z. Now you see all of these billboards that got all of these discounts. The food, like, you're just getting tempted in so many different ways to go back to that. Your exes start hitting you back up. Or for example, this is a good one, right? Let's say for example men, right? I know for women it's chastity or like celibacy, right? But for a man, let's say you're on semen retention, right? You've been on semen retention for a year straight, abstaining, and you've gotten to the point, and Satan knows this, you no longer desire the women no more. Like, for example, for me, I used to like the women that had the cleavage and had the tights on. Oh, that I used to love that. That used to turn me on, right? And now, to me, it's more beautiful. Like, it looks better like a woman that dressed modestly, that covers herself, that shows that she carries herself and respects her body and loves her body. I'm not saying that every woman that wears like that type of stuff doesn't love their body, but you get the point. Like, I think that is more appealing, to see a woman cover herself and not have, because that's meant for the man to see. That's meant for the man to see in private, right? That's between y'all two. Why is, like, why am I able to see the same thing that I'm able to see? Like, why am I able to see the same thing that she's wearing online? I'm seeing the same thing in bed. That should be intimate between y'all two. But let's say, for example, like, right, as a man, you no longer want those type of women. Those women disgust you. You don't care about the harlots, the women that dress like harlots, and they, have all their cleavage and their butt out and they're twerking. Like, that doesn't turn you on. That actually disgusts you and turn you off. Satan's not gonna send that person your way. What Satan is gonna do is he's gonna send a woman that dress modestly, that is your type, the skin color and everything, right? And she comes to you talking all beautifully, telling you what you want to hear. I'll cook for you, I'll clean for you, I'll do this, I'm a woman of God and X, Y, and Z. And whole time that's an agent, because now all of a sudden, now guess what? You relapse, and now all of a sudden you start fornicating again. You're fornicating, boom, 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 and then all of a sudden the conversation started getting less and less and less. Like, the distance between the conversations, y'all was texting back every single hour. And all of a sudden, there's hours that go by, days that go by. Oh, sorry, I was busy. My fault, I was busy. I wasn't on my phone for a day straight, for 24 hours straight. And all of a sudden, like, she goes ghost, and or he goes ghost, and y'all no longer are talking no more. And guess what? Now you can fall back into that. It's like, man, I went a year. I might as well just give up. I might as well just go back into my own ways, and you just start fornicating, or you start going back to watching porn and masturbating and all this type of stuff like that, because you feel like, well, I done messed up now. I might as well just keep going, right? Or you can get that pleasure from it, and you just go back to just sleeping with any woman or any man that you find. That's something to always keep in mind. So you always got to be. That's why it's good to be sober minded. Abstain from all the extra stuff. Like, be sober minded, so you are able to detect these attacks that come to your way. And number 5, God will bless you both physically and spiritually. Yes, physically, because God can bless you with the money. God can bless you with family, and all this type of stuff like that. And God will also bless your health. Like, you won't get sick as much. You will live longer. You will have a healthier lifestyle at older ages. Like, your body is able to function. Let's say you're 50 years old, like moving regular, like a 20-year old moving 50 years old, doing backflips and skydiving, doing all this stuff, right? At 50 years old, you have a much healthier body. You're not prone to a lot of sicknesses. You don't get weak. You have a lot more energy. Um, a lot of these things, your body's able to do a lot more that most people can't do. That's one way. And then spiritually, God, the most one I love is peace. God will give you peace. He will give you happiness. He will give you joy. He will give you wisdom. He will give you confidence. He will give you patience. He will give you all of these things that spiritually God will give you. Just a few to name, but other than that, that is pretty much it. Let me know. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But let me know if I'm missing something. Let me know if something has happened to you that I don't have up here. If you want to share your testimony, definitely let me know. Let me know what other videos, what other topics that you guys want me to go over. And other than that, hopefully you all have a blessed, beautiful, and amazing day.